Okay, today on F3 Transformations, we're here with Melanie Douglas, better known as Melly Doug. If not familiar with her, she holds records in 181s, 198s, and USPA. She's also a physique competitor. So I let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Melanie Douglas. I've been in powerlifting for like about 3.5 years. Started bodybuilding last year. I did my first figure show where I placed top 5 at the All South Classic in St. Augustine, Florida. And then prior to that, I hold 8 records across 2 weight classes in Alabama. I've competed at the American Cup at the LA Fit Expo, where I tried for a world record at the time. I deadlifted a 508. Didn't quite get there, but I really fell in love with it after that experience because I got to be on the platform with so many high-profile lifters. So, and just took a break to do bodybuilding, and I was going back to powerlifting, and I broke my arm when I was getting back into it, and now I'm going back to bodybuilding until I'm ready to build my strength back up.
So that goes to our first question. How did you get into fitness / powerlifting / physique contest?
Well, actually, going all the way back bodybuilding before there was even like bikini or physique, it was just figure and female bodybuilding. My freshman year in college, I actually was getting ready for my first bodybuilding show with a guy that I was seeing at the time, and then I got pregnant and had my child, which is a blessing in disguise, obviously. And then, like most people, I was dating a guy, and we kind of went through a very bad breakup. And as they say, breakups build bodybuilders, in my case, powerlifters. And I was going to a gym, and a coach approached me and said, "Have you ever thought about competing before?" And I was like, "I don't know. You know, after I'm a kid, I don't know if I want to get on stage or whatnot." And he was like, "No, I mean the big 3 lifts. Like, let me do a program for you. 12 weeks out, I guarantee you, you're made for deadlifting. You'll set records." And I was like, tell me more about this. And that's kind of history since then.
So how did, after powerlifting, how did you transfer over to physique?
Well, my coach, actually, my second coach, who initially my first coach was just doing my strength side of it, and then my current coach, who then started helping me with nutrition, because at the time I wanted to be sure I wanted to make the 181 class. So he helped me with nutrition. Well, his background has always been bodybuilding. So to me, I was like his new little experiment. Like, oh, I get to like try a power lifter out and try to train them and get them stronger. Once I went solely with him on everything. And then just, as my physique changed, one of the happy outcomes of doing powerlifting was building the lean muscle mass. And he was like, the hardest part is usually that, and the easiest part is getting the fat off. And he was like, why don't we just try to do a show? And I said, I'm down, and because I was kind of good at it. So.
Next question, your future powerlifting and bodybuilding goals?
For powerlifting, I would like to get a 500 Wilks raw. And I would like to compete at the U.S. Open. When I broke my arm, I was actually getting ready for the U.S. Open, so I want to go on that platform really, really badly and get a 500 Wilks. Well, I would do a wrapped meet if I did that, but I would like a 500 Wilks raw. As far as bodybuilding is such a challenge for me. I've always been a strong person. I've never been athletic per se, but always the strongest in the weight room. So powerlifting always came easy, but like going into bodybuilding, just
mentally,
it's just a mental challenge. I see food different. As far as a goal of like thinking about getting into the IFBB or anything like that, I can't say I've necessarily set that goal for myself. Maybe on down the road, but I see myself as where my first prep, I was only comparing myself to other people. Now I have last prep to look at, and like I can compare that. And my goal in bodybuilding is just to beat the person I was last time.
That's all you can do. I mean, that's across both sports. What's your opinion on the current state and the future of powerlifting?
Powerlifting? It's grown as a women's sport hugely. I like it that it's growing. My one outcry is the fact that I feel like that the women are still only getting the most attention if they're showing off the most things. Not all of them, but there's a lot. It's just frustrating as an elite level athlete in powerlifting not that I do this for recognition, but it's nice for people to notice these things, and maybe companies and stuff, because who wouldn't love to get paid to do what they love? And so my only grief with it is that I don't like how it's kind of become so commercialized, and it's all about, excuse my language when I say this, but the digital blowjob all the time. Hashtag this company, hashtag that company, get someone's attention, tag them in this and that. And I really like just the nitty gritty. I got into powerlifting to save myself mentally, not to kind of go back into to get in my head again. And it can do that sometimes, and I never thought that powerlifting would do that to me. So, that's kind of another reason why I took a break from it, because I didn't like the way it was turning. But, now I do see a lot of strong women getting attention, and that makes me happy. So.
Okay, to add to that question, the future of women's bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, physique, where do you see that future and current state of that?
Well, they've already gotten rid of female bodybuilding,
right.
So, or they're kind of phasing it out, because it's kind of, they say it's like a freak show. Well, that's, in my opinion, I think it just evolves more and more. The physique girls will get bigger. The figure girls will get bigger, because I never thought I'd be one of the tiniest girls on stage. When I did figure, I had no idea that was going to happen. Not necessarily the leanest, but as far as muscle mass, one of the smallest. And then, I see the bikini girls pushing themselves to a point that I've never seen bikini girls push themselves, and I think that it's maybe causing an unhealthy mindset with a lot of people. Body dysmorphia. I think more people. I don't think as many people have it as you think. It's actually an interesting stance that me and my coach have kind of developed on it, or that he's made me believe, and that's that, regular society who doesn't really work out, they're always talking about, oh, something's wrong, you're a fitness freak, and you have body dysmorphia, oh, you look fine. Well, just because I'm really aware of my body, that doesn't mean that I have body dysmorphia. It's just that I'm really aware of it, and I'm going to notice things that other people aren't going to notice. It's my body, I see it every single day. So, I think that it's more of a, regular, normal, when I say normal people's society, it's not that I look bad at, 10% body fat at, 175 pounds. It's really that, they're so normal with being so normal and not really working out. Only 8% of the population has gym memberships, and maybe 20% of them actually use those gym memberships. So it's really, they want to push off, you have the problem, not me. It's not that I should be working out more and doing these things, it's that they have the problem. So I think that's where people, and so then we think we have body dysmorphia because of that, and we don't. So I think, I don't know, I'm kind of, sorry, I'm touching on that subject.
It's, because they'll look at you as if you have the problem because you're holding yourself to a different standard of physical fitness, healthier lifestyle, and plus, just because you compete doesn't mean you have body dysmorphia, doesn't mean you're arrogant. Actually, a lot of competitors I know, personally myself, they're actually shyer, or they might have self-esteem issues.
Right, well, and then even on the flip side of it, you have a lot of competitors too that, they tend to be very on top of things. They're very good partners, wives, friends, bosses, managers, parents. They almost are even more well put together than the normal person that you see, because they're so organized and they have to be on a schedule so much. I think that it's a double-edged sword. I'm not to discredit anybody who has body image issues and who has body dysmorphia, because it's definitely a serious thing that's happening, or that can happen to someone, or people go through. But I just want to say that, don't worry, you're not a fitness freak. It's really that, that other people should really be working more. Really, so.
Okay, we kind of touched on this before, but we'll get more into it. Women in powerlifting / bodybuilding shattering records. Because, you have women who are in both, but they're killing both. Susan Salazar, just to name one, and seeing the current c.c. Holcomb crushing. Powerlifting is in its rarest form ever, but, women are taking over. You got Steffi Cohen, c.c. Holcomb, yourself. Crushing. So they're just getting stronger and stronger, and that
you know, it just drives me every single day to go harder.
Yeah.
And when I get back into powerlifting, and whenever I, you know, when I did right before I injured myself, I got discouraged at first because I was like, oh, you know, because when I went to the American Cup in 2017, I was neck and neck with all these people. And then I do bodybuilding and I'm like, these girls have gotten so strong, what am I gonna do? But then my strength came back so much faster and everything was fine. But you know, they're just getting stronger and stronger. What I always like to think about is what about those girls that are in the gym or people who maybe don't even work out that don't know their strength potential. Think about how many naturally strong people there are out there, and they have no idea, or we don't know because they don't get the digital blowjobs. They don't, you know, they're not all over social media. They just work out because they really enjoy doing it. And that's what, again, you know, touching back what you were saying, how it's evolving, is that I just like to, like when I lift or like the people I like to surround myself with, I don't put myself out there as much because I just want to be around the people who love the sport and the quality and do it because they love doing it, not because it's going to give them attention from somewhere else. So.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, some of the strongest people never compete. Some of the best physiques will never compete. They're just everyday gym goers, or they might be a form hand or anything and never tap into their potential. So I mean, like I said, it's definitely evolving. All right, powerlifters, past or present, male or female?
Okay, so that's a hard question because I'm going to go ahead and admit that I am like the dumbest, worst, good powerlifter you'll ever meet because I don't know people's names. Okay, but first and foremost, my coach, Steve Goggins. That's going to be, he's a legend. My powerlifting coach, Steve Goggins, he is definitely my top. Of course, how could I leave out c.c. Holcomb? She's amazing. Anna Perez, Anna Perez, she's one of my friends, close friends. I went with her to the US Open, and also Perseus, Perseus Black. He's actually, by the way, I got him into powerlifting.
Yeah. Dude, I think everybody was pressuring him like, dude, you just...
So anyways, but he's a really good friend of mine, so I love him. But gosh, a fourth one. Well, I guess Ed Cohen.
Yeah, you got it. Had a goat in there.
Yeah, I like Kaz Martin too. Trying to get her into powerlifting.
Yeah, I think she might switch. Possibly. I don't know. But
she's never done anything.
No.
She just likes to work out.
She's just an everyday beast.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, your approach to training and diet.
Very hybrid. So like I said, my coach Joel, who was originally just my diet coach, then he went to my strength and diet and protocol, and now he just does my bodybuilding diet and always diet and protocols, and then Steve does my powerlifting. But Joel, he has really been able to fuse strength and fitness together to where I'm able to do a power program and a power block, and then afterwards my accessories are always really high volume bodybuilding style, so I'm able to keep the physique I want. I don't get too big because I put on muscle mass really easily, especially up here. So you know, I like to do a balance of it, so I always like to start off real heavy with my workouts, and then I'll go through a volume sets of anywhere up to like 5 sets of everything, anywhere from like 10 to 20 reps depending on what the work is. So and then diet is clean, except you know, not only when I'm on prep.
No chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, except unless you have chicken McNuggets. If I could be a McNugget, I would.
Okay, and this is a big controversial topic. Your opinion on huge water cuts?
It's not controversial to me. I love them. I'm sorry. I know everyone's like talking against them here lately. I get it that I get it where they say, you know, people got into powerlifting because they weren't worried about the number on the scale and they weren't worried about their looks or fitting into a certain class. But I'm competitive at nature, and it doesn't matter if I'm trying to break a record, if I say I'm going to go 9 for 9, or I'm trying to hit a PR to meet. The #1 objective, regardless of the meet, is to get first.
Yes.
And get best lifter. Always to get first, best lifter, and then first in your class. And that's always my objective, and the way that I do that is by doing water cuts. Now, if you do not know how to do one, and you don't have a coach that can have you follow a protocol, you don't have someone who can teach you how to refeed after. The biggest mistake I see people doing after they do a huge water cut, the biggest one I've ever done is 26 pounds.
Yes.
And I came out best lifter in that meet, and that was a year ago. So, I mean, I've done some really quite large ones. I spent a lot of time in the sauna. I've done everything from, you know, from the magnesium citrate to the salt baths to the sauna, in and out. But the sauna is always my last resort. But it's typically always a water cut that's going to happen, water load slash cut, sodium load slash cut, load slash cut, all of that. But then the refeed afterwards, I see people as soon as they weigh in and they get off that scale, they're just stuffing their face, and that's actually a huge no-no, because if you're dehydrated on the inside, nothing's going to absorb. So you know, my coach has something we coined the name called Mel Aid, because it's this mix from creatine to vegetable glycerin. It's got glutamine, BCAAs, Pedialyte, casein protein, and I drink that. Well, I drink just the like Pedialyte and stuff first with a bunch of all these ingredients, and then he has it measured out literally to where some stuff I'm putting, like I'm having to measure out the grams of like the powder I'm putting in, because he wants it so exactly how much weight I lost. So I can't really give you an exact like, hey, do this much after this, that. It's all relative. So, but I have someone who's really closely monitored me, and he's never let me down in a weight cut.
Yeah, man, the refeed is the biggest part, and she's actually helped with my last weight cut I did for my last meet. Yeah, and she actually helped me qualify for nationals, so that's a big thing. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, 26 pounds. I remember following her journey on IG, and she was like, saw her sleeping under her desk because she was so depleted.
I was in the sauna with a card swiping my sweat off. Just to
see 165 in your future?
Huh?
165 in your future?
That's the plan, yeah. 165 is what I would like to go to after this bodybuilding show. So hopefully I'll get back and do my anniversary meet with Charlie. Yeah. At the Battle of the Beast, which is the one that you did the cut for, right? Yeah. So in October, that's probably what I'll do after I do this bodybuilding show.
So I have 3 records, well, 3 weight classes.
3 weight classes, hoping to get. I'll have records across 3 weight classes and hopefully 12 records total.
So how do you, you mentioned before, Mr. Steve Goggins, how do you like his coaching approach? And he seems like a super laid-back guy, very knowledgeable, but just watching his vids, he seems kind of laid back.
Seems laid back? Oh, I'm glad the videos perceive that. It's not that, no, he's a great guy. I love Steve. Like, I met Steve at my first Pro Meet Invitational at the Lee Haney Games back in 2016. And when I met him, I just had this overall, just like, because I remember when I was so nervous going to this meet, because I mean, I was going to be around like Steve Goggins and all these world judges and things like that, and people, you know, that I've just looked up to so far in powerlifting, and to be in the South, that so accessible to me was nice. So I met him, but as soon as I met him, it was just this overwhelming just sense of comfort, and I was so comfortable with him, and then we just kind of kept in touch. I kept in touch with the teammates, and I was like, you know, what do you guys think about me coming? And they're like, yeah, sure. And so then I was like, give my number to Steve. Steve calls me, and he's like, I didn't want to step on anybody's toes and whatnot, but I'd really like for you to join the team. And so I talked to Joel about it, and Joel was like, it would be a disservice to tell you no, so please go and do that. And after bodybuilding shows, Steve said, go ahead and get through your little fitness journey. He said, and get in touch with me. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. And you know, I got with him, and his approach to training, but it's methodical. Like you would think, like sometimes I would, like when I first got into it, but like I thought that, you know, well, maybe it wasn't doing much, but he has us benching like females, like we're benching 3 times a week. You know, he has us benching 3 times a week, and the way he has me doing deadlifts, like I've never done before. It's just a special like way he does like touch and goes and stuff. It's all these methods and little, like, I mean, the smallest tweaks that I would never have thought of that would change and that would just put, you know, instantly 10 pounds on a number. Yeah, so, yeah, he's laid back to an extent, but he also likes to be heard. So, and he doesn't like to repeat himself, so, yeah.
Super knowledgeable guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what about your any upcoming meets, physique competition?
Yep, I plan on doing the Alabama State show in August. I think it's like August 24th. It's at Gadsden High School. So that's national qualifier. If I get in my class, you know, top 3, and I'll think about getting on a national stage, but I want to get back to powerlifting first.
And first love.
Yeah, it's really taxing on the body to go back and forth though. So I'd like to do at least, I want to compete in the 165s at least once, and then I'll think about doing the bodybuilding things. So,
You gotta come back to the dark side.
I got to, yeah. Hey, I was just in there deadlifting. I was hoping you were going to see it, but that's okay.
What we pulling?
Huh? 315 for 3.
It seemed like you were gonna switch to sumo at one point, are you?
No, I can't do sumo. No.
Come to the dark side.
No, I can't do sumo.
That'll be it today. I'd like to thank Melanie Douglas for taking part in this interview.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Would you like to give your social media links?
Oh, okay, sure. Are you gonna like let something scroll across the bottom?
Yeah, we'll put it in
Okay.
the description box.
Okay. It's Melly Doug on Instagram. MELIE_DOUG. Also, if you're in the Birmingham or Alabama area, if you ever come to Birmingham, I'm the assistant general manager at Gold's Gym at the Colonnade in Birmingham. Hit me up. We can get a workout in. If you're around the area and you want me to come to your gym, I'll do that too. And then also, you can come see me and my girls at Sammy's. I'm also a manager there at night. It's a gentleman's club, but I'm a manager. I'm not a stripper. There's more jobs than dancing.
So do you offer coaching yourself?
No, I don't. I've done it for some newbies before and like some novice lifters, but nothing, like I've never had anybody pay me to do it because I'm not patient enough, I'll just be honest. I love the sport and I like talking about it and I do like helping people and stuff. I don't feel like that I feel like I can get people connected with better than me. So yeah. So I don't know, no, I don't do coaching, but I don't mind helping somebody, especially especially females who want to get into a power sport. I've done programs for them, why didn't I remember this? Hatfield, Dr. Hatfield. He's probably one of my favorite powerlifters. So that's my first, that's the template that I've used.
Dr. Squat.
Yeah, Dr. Squat. Yeah, that's the only template I've ever used for powerlifting before I got with Steve was Hatfield's. So if you want to just Google the Hatfield cycle and you can look that up, punch your numbers in, you find an Excel spreadsheet, punch your numbers in, and then just get someone to help you with accessory work. That's a good way to begin, but I actually used that program for 3 years.
Wow.
So
it took you a long way?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So that'll be it today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Melanie, again.
Thank you for having me. All right.